Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I created this versatile crochet look. As you can see, I can wear a part on the side, in the middle, or pull it back. So let's get started. So my foundation, I have smaller braids in the top and then I have bigger braids in the back. I sewed the ends down to make it as flat as possible. I like to use the Jamaican Bounce by the African collection, and it is just a level 1. You will need a spray bottle because I like to wet down the hair. It just makes it easier to pull apart and it doesn't get as frizzy. You can kind of smooth it back into place. I'm going to put smaller pieces in the middle and smaller pieces on the side where I'm going to have my side part. So I started with smaller pieces on the 2 braids on the sides of my middle part. I broke up one piece to about maybe 4 pieces, and I'm going to install them pretty close together all the way to the very front. I used an even smaller piece in the very front because it's not really a braid on there. And I didn't add any hair because my hair is so thick, but I would suggest that you add braid hair if you have thinner hair. But I use a very little piece and put it on the very front so they won't weigh the hair down and it won't pull. And then, as you can see, it's very small. It's right there in the front. Now you have to be careful not to put too much hair on the row because it can get a little heavy. And as you can see, I went in and put the other side in pretty much with the same technique. And now I'm going in on the side. I'm going to use smaller pieces on the side part as well because, again, this is where I'm going to break it up and I want the knots to be a little smaller. You don't have to do this when you fill in the rest of the crochets. So as you can see, I'm pretty much doing the same technique as I did with the middle part. I'm going to take it all the way to the front with smaller pieces, just so it can be as flat as possible. I like the knots to be real neat. So even if one comes out just like a little bumpy, I'll just redo it. So it's super flat, the middle part. And there's plenty of hair, and this is only like half a pack of hair. So I'm going to tie it up and I'm going to start in the back, and we can use bigger pieces. And what I like to do is just start filling in from the bottom to the top. So there's no particular pattern that I use when I start filling in. I like to just feel my way through it. I just kind of feel for the back, and I kind of like to space out the pieces because you can always go in and fill in any gaps that you may have. So I just put in random spots. What I like about the Jamaican Bounce hair is that the texture, it locks in a little easier. That's why I can do them on myself so well. So what I'm doing now, I'm just basically just working my way up. I'm kind of going over, and then I'll check to see if everything is pretty much balanced. See, it's just random, and so I'm just gonna go in and keep filling in. You can kind of see how I just kind of feel my way through. Just feeling to see where the last knot was placed. And I space these out. They don't have to be right up on each other. You can get really heavy, so I space them. see how it's already pretty full. That's why I said be careful not to put too much, because you can have a lot of hair on your hands, and this hair can get tangled if you use too much, so it's best to space it out. So as I go in and fill in the remainder of the hair, I want to make note that I still use a smaller piece along the hairline, because again, I don't want to put a lot of tension on my hair and on my edges. And plus you don't want a big knot in the front of your head when you pull it back. So now we're cutting, and I apologize, I was already cutting the side and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But as you can see, I'm just going in, pulling up pieces. I'm cutting off about an inch or so on the ends. You don't want to cut this hair too short because it'll bounce back and it'll be really short on you if you cut too much. So I would start with cutting maybe like an inch and then just kind of work your way up. I'm just pulling all around, picking it up, just pulling and snipping. And you'll find that you'll have to snip this hair often. Sometimes you just see little random curls that you just want to get each day. But just try not to cut too much because you don't want to make it too short. And I'm just checking it to see how the side part is going to look. How it looked maybe in the middle, and I'm just going to go in and just make minor adjustments, and there you go.